Calgary. We're live in Calgary. I know maybe everybody put their cowbells down, but maybe we can applaud instead of ring our cowbells. Scott, can you hear us? We can hear you loud and clear, Dwayne. Okay, perfect. So, we are going to get underway here. So the first thing we're going to do is, what is the Tour of Alberta? Well, we're going to take a look right now. We have some cyclists coming into the room in both Edmonton and Calgary as we speak, and I'd just like to give them a big round of applause for being here today. And none of these cyclists are pro cyclists yet, but you know, we feel that, you know, an event like today, you know, you never know, someone will be riding in the Tour of Alberta very shortly. To introduce someone that was a pro cyclist, isn't a pro cyclist today, sorry Brian, but he is a pro cyclist. He is right now in Calgary, and I'm going to give you a very long, but I'm going to go through a quick background of his cycling experience. Brian Jolly competed in his first club race in his home country of Great Britain in 1963 and participated in time trials and road racing as an amateur until the end of 1969 when he turned pro. He won stages and wore the yellow jersey in many races, including the Tour of Britain, the Tour of Monaco, the Tour of Scotland, the Tour d'Anvers, I always mess that one up, I'm sorry, which was an amateur Tour de France. While competing for Great Britain in the 1968 Olympic Games in Mexico City, he won his greatest prize, not a medal, but rather the heart of a member of the Canadian Olympic canoeing team who he followed to Canada and to whom he is happily married to today. Being a professional cyclist, but not from cycling, Brian immigrated to Canada in 1974 and enjoyed a successful 36-year career in the construction industry until his retirement from his position as Senior Vice President of PCL Construction in 2011. Throughout it all, his passion, commitment for cycling remained. He coached, raced, commissionaired, organized, managed events, technical director for National Road Championships in Fort McMurray in 1989. Served as the Vice President of Racing for the Alberta Bicycling Association and Vice President on numerous committees of the Canadian Cycling Association. He was a member of the Canadian Cycling Management Team at the Victoria Commonwealth Games and Atlanta Olympic Games. While President of the CCA for 10 years until 2002, he was responsible for bringing the World Road Race Championships to Canada in 2003, an event he also served on a variety of leadership capacities. A member of the Canadian Olympic Games Committee for 6 years, he was the director of the Canadian Olympic Committee for 8 years, appointed to the COC Audit Committee, and he was a member of the UCI Road Commission for 4 years. He currently serves as a member of the UCI Mountain Bike Commission, and more importantly, brings all the experience, passion, commitment to cycling to our organization, the Tour of Alberta and the Alberta Peloton Association. Whew, what a repertoire. So, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the APA and the Tour of Alberta Chair, Brian Jolly, who is in Calgary, to deliver his comments.
Thank you, Dwayne, and good morning, everyone. Good morning. Dwayne, you got your own bike, you gave me a longer speech. And a very special welcome and a thank you to our honoured guests, Minister Olson, Minister Cusinelli, Minister Klimchuk, Mayor Mandrell, and also the CEO of Tourism Calgary, Randy Williams. We're pleased you are all able to join us both in Edmonton and Calgary today, respectively, as we make the exciting announcement of the Alberta for Alberta and for Canada for cycling. So here it is. And there's lots of good news for you all in this. The province of Alberta will soon be home to the newest pro cycling event on the international cycling circuit, the Tour of Alberta, Alberta's Pro Cycling Festival. On September 27th or 22nd in 2012, the Union Cyclists International, known as the UCI, the sport's world governing body based in Aigle, Switzerland, awarded the inaugural Tour of Alberta with a 2.1 sanctioning, making it the highest level of pro cycling stage race in Canada and one of the highest level pro racing events in North America. An annual event beginning in 2013, the Tour of Alberta will feature up to 16 professional international teams, comprised of 8 riders per team. It is expected the event will host riders from over 20 countries around the world. The 2.1 sanctioning from the UCI will allow the Tour of Alberta to invite the same teams which compete in the Tour de France and the Giro d'Italia. The UCI sanctioning recognises both Alberta's growing international reputation to host high-quality, world-class sports events, as well as its safe, warm, welcoming Western hospitality, breathtaking scenery and varied landscapes. The 2013 Tour of Alberta is a 6-day stage race starting in Edmonton on Tuesday the 3rd of September 2013 and ending in Calgary on Sunday, September the 8th. Stages in between the start and the finish will include villages, towns, areas of Alberta, which rarely, if ever, have had the benefit of seeing, let alone hosting, major international sporting events in their communities. A cycling event in Alberta, modelled after the classic road race such as the Tour de France, the Giro d'Italia, has been a long dream of many Albertans, many of whom now make up the founding board of directors for the Alberta Peloton Association and the Tour of Alberta. In cycling circles, many of you likely will recognise the name of, or know one of those individuals, Alex Steeder. He's an old pro as well, not just me. The first North American to wear the yellow jersey in the Tour de France. Alex, who is with us in Edmonton, has been a champion of bringing this event to Alberta for over 6 years. He's one of the co-chairs of the Tour of Alberta, along with David Emery and Wendy Andrews, who are also on hand in Edmonton and Calgary. Joining myself and the co-chairs as founding board members, Alyssa Honholter and Gerrit Smith. I'm also pleased to announce a recent new addition to the board in Ken Curry. I'm also looking forward to announcing a couple of key board members joining us from Calgary, who will help us lead in our inaugural year. Now, for people who may be unfamiliar with a pro cycling event of this kind, you need to know that the Tour of Alberta is an event built for fans and spectators. Fans can see cycling up close. They can line every single one of the 850 or more kilometres to cheer along, or even run along the side, not in the bunch, on the side, with their favourite teams and pro cyclists. The Tour of Alberta will also include a number of community festivals and events up to and throughout the event, at start, finish, pass-through communities that will showcase Alberta's communities, culture, food products and services, and promote fitness and healthy lifestyles. Based on similar races at this level, the inaugural Tour of Alberta is expected to draw more than 300,000 on-site spectators over the 6 days of the race, and over 30 million viewers from over 100 countries via national and international television coverage of the race. Daily live coverage of the race will also be available online through mobile applications. The total economic impact of the event for Alberta is estimated to be between 30 and 35 million a year. Did I mention it's all free to attend and part of? There are no major international professional sport events you can say that about. Now, before I finish my remarks today, I want to talk a little bit about the team behind the Tour of Alberta. I introduced the members of the board earlier, and I can tell you the best decision we made so far is in recognising that when you're going to welcome the world's best cycling athletes, you also want to be working with the best in the business in staging events like the Tour of Alberta. Dwayne has already introduced himself, but I would like to take this opportunity to welcome him to the Alberta Peloton Association and the Tour of Alberta team. Many of you in Edmonton media and community may know Dwayne very well, with a passion for both sport and for building new events. Most recently, Dwayne was the Vice President of Marketing and Brand Management with the Canadian Football League's Edmonton Eskimos Football Club. Prior to that, he served as Executive Director for the 2010 Grey Cup Festival, which has been touted by many as the best Grey Cup ever. As President of the Edmonton Rush Lacrosse Club from 2005 to 2009, Dwayne's innovation and leadership skills assisted in creating brand awareness of the startup franchise. And I can tell you, Dwayne just joined us as of November the 5th and has already fired up things for us in the short time that he's been with us. So welcome aboard, Dwayne. Working with Dwayne are some of the top event management and marketing people in Alberta, if not the country. As well, we have engaged a company called Medalist Sport to provide race support and direction for the inaugural year of the Tour of Alberta in 2013. Medalist Sports has over 20 years of reputable experience in production of world-class professional events, cycling events, including the historic Tour de Pont, the Tour of China, the Tour of Georgia, Tour of Missouri, as well as the recent Amgem Tour of California, Larry H. Miller Tour of Utah, and the USA Pro Cycling Challenge in Colorado. Medalist Sports is also the production partner for the 2014 UCI Paralympic World Championships in Greenville, South Carolina, USA, and the 2015 Road World Championships in Richmond, Virginia, USA. We have also engaged KOM to pursue marketing in the international cycling field for the inaugural year. Working together, our mutual goal is a simple one: to produce a world-class professional cycling competition which highlights the beauty of Alberta and its communities while creating positive economic and social impact to the region. The Tour of Alberta represents the continued passion and benefit for cycling, both at grassroots and professional level, and the inaugural Tour of Alberta promises to be spectacular and a highly successful annual event for years to come.